You have often heard the description that he or she is a great ball striker when you're watching golf on TV, right? Well, if that description does not apply to your game, the lesson you're about to see will help a lot so that maybe someday you can be described as a great ball striker too. Stick around. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. Welcome to the Lesson T. Today we're focusing on improving your iron play so that you can be a better ball striker, better distance controller, and hit some more greens. If you've ever looked at that stat on your own personal scorecard summary, usually it's not very good. You find yourself scrambling an awful lot. What if you could just hit a fairway and then just have your putter in your hand? Wouldn't that be quite a treat? So I've asked 2024 Michigan PGA Section Teacher of the Year, Kmartin from the Fortress Golf Club, to join me inside the MGL Sim Studio, where today Kyle's going to guide us through becoming good ball strikers or better ball strikers. We hear PGA pros all the time and LPGA pros being described as a great ball striker. I'm wondering if there's anybody on tour who's a lousy ball striker, because we never really hear that. So what can we do to get better at clean contact and better distance control?
Yeah, so one big common issue that I see in a lot of my lessons is when players, amateur players, start their downswing, we struggle with contact, we struggle with direction, we struggle with consistency on the face. Their downswing starts from the top down. And so what I want to focus on today really aligns your sequence or how your downswing should start.
You know, sequence starts to sound like, you know, scientific kind of a thing, and a lot for me to think about. So I know you have the thought process of making this all second nature through your drills, right? I don't want to scare anybody away. It's going to make sense.
Yeah, so a lot of times I'll have players come in, and if sequencing is their issue, a lot of times I'll have them pick up a golf ball and I'll say, throw it at the screen as fast as you can. And they naturally turn, they step, then they throw. And the last thing to go is their hand throwing the golf ball. Well, that tells me that the sequencing or what you do to generate speed and power is already there. So a really simple drill to tie that in is if we start with the golf club, and I have it teed up right now. A lot of times to start this drill, we definitely want to tee it up. We'll start with both feet just behind the golf ball, so that golf ball is going to be just off your left pinky toe for a right-handed golfer. And when we make these half swings, these are really short swings, when we start these arms working back, all I want to do is kind of lock into that sensation of throwing a golf ball, where we're going to turn, step, and hit that golf ball, where we have a chance to get our downswing started from the ground up. And so this step drill really puts that into the forefront, where if we're looking at a player like Scotty Scheffler, who won the Players, or Tommy Fleetwood, or any of the real pure ball strikers on tour, when they start a downswing, they're starting a downswing with a shift from their back foot to their front foot. There has to be a move or a motion or a shift into your lead side or your front foot. Let's say for a right-handed golfer, we're going to push into the ball of your left foot well before your upper body even gets engaged in starting the downswing.
We talked about it a little bit in a different lesson that we recorded about chipping, where if you finish your motion with all your weight on your back foot, that has not been a good chip. You've most likely sculled it because you tried, or chunked it because you've been trying to help the ball in the air. With a fuller or a longer, you know, a 95-yard iron shot, we're still in the scoring zone, but that same concept of transference still applies, right? You can't finish back here.
100%. A big issue that's tied to this drill is if you typically catch shots fat, usually catch shots thin, we really struggle controlling where the bottom of your golf swing is. If we can learn how to, when we start your backswing, start to shift or push, we're going to take the bottom of that golf swing and we're going to push it after the golf ball so you can hit the ball first. Two things are going to happen. One, it's going to launch lower. Two is it's going to go farther. Because when we provide less loft to the golf club, all of a sudden we can start to hit it more in the center of the face, and the ball is going to travel farther. So you can pick up, let's say, bonus distance without really trying to put in any more effort.
There are times when we hear the phrase using the ground, and usually I hear it in the context of distance and somebody generating power. You'll see, Justin Thomas literally leaving the ground as he takes a full driver swing. I'm certainly not going to do that because I would end up in traction. But is this kind of a version of that where you said you want to start your swing from the ground up, and I'm going to do that naturally if I'm stepping into it? Is that the reason for the drill?
100%. So one of the easy ways to generate more consistency with your ball striking and further distance is to, we'll call it, separate what your lower body is doing first and what your upper body is doing second. So we're trying to get your lower body to start moving forward first. And then if we use the metaphor of your lower body is the vehicle, your upper body is the trailer, the vehicle has to pull the trailer. It can't be the other way around. Okay. So we have to get your lower body moving first for your upper body to have the opportunity to deliver the golf club effectively.
Is this a drill that you would also do with a driver, or is this really for iron play?
So if you're going to hit balls, irons. If you're doing your pre-shot routine, a lot of my players that really struggle with sequencing, I will have them do this drill without a golf ball, obviously, on the golf course in their pre-shot routine is that step and swing drill, because it just realigns and kind of recalibrates what your body should be doing in the downswing.
Okay, so walk me through this drill so I can practice it on my own. You want me to start together like this?
Correct. So both feet are going to be behind the golf ball.
That's a funky feeling, right?
Yeah. Cause it was like, wow, that's way up there. Yeah. And as soon as we start that backswing, we're going to start to step with your left foot, and you're going to feel that pressure or that momentum going forward into your front foot well before your arms and the club get anywhere close to impact.
Now, without you guiding me, my natural tendency would have been start here and then step way later, because I think I'm an arms first kind of guy, and you've seen me play enough that you're probably like, yeah, you are. That's part of the problem.
I will not deny that.
So you want me to take it back while I'm still going back. You want that step.
Yeah, there's definitely a crossover between your lower body starting the downswing and your upper body, we'll call it, not quite being done with the backswing.
Okay.
So that's where we talk about separating the priorities of what your lower body is doing. If I'm making a golf swing, my arms are still going to be working back as I start to push. And most amateur golfers never really consider that sequencing when they're talking about issues with their ball striking.
Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it off the ground and see if I can keep from hitting it in the forehead.
Really good. So pretty simple power, right? All we're doing is we're using your bigger muscles, your core muscles, to try and generate that motion forward so that your hands and arms are only responsible for delivering a square club face at impact.
That is a fascinating thought process. Let's try it again. Oh, I did it before the machine was ready.
Yeah.
So take my word for it, that was going in the hole.
Pretty guaranteed.
Pretty sure. Yeah. I didn't wait for the beep. Let's try one more time. That felt like good contact. You tell me if I'm doing the drill correctly.
Yeah, so the reason why this feels so good is instead of hitting it low on the face, where we're staying back on we have too much weight on your trail foot or your back foot at impact, we're now shifting forward. So we're starting to move that impact point much higher on the face towards the center, and the ball is going as far as it needs to without working any harder.
For the record, for those of you who are keeping track at home, I just grabbed out of the bag a random 9-iron. I'm not normally hitting a 9 from 95 yards, so please don't read into the results the quality of Kyle's instruction. I've got the wrong club in my hand, so let's just try it again. I'm just going to tell you the contact feels really good.
Well done.
And I can do this throughout the bag of iron play. And then once I get more comfortable with the timing, I can stop doing the step and have that transfer ingrained in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm working with my juniors, my elementary kids, I'll say, smash the can. So I said, imagine if I put a pop can under your left foot, and when we make that backswing, I want you to start your downswing by smashing or crushing that can. It's all the same sequence. It's the same sequence that you would use to throw a ball, swing a tennis racket, swing a hockey stick. That's why good athletes should be able to attack this drill with some relative ease, because that sequence already exists. Most people already have that. It's just gluing it into their golf swing where the trouble is.
Okay, so we want to hear from you how well this drill works for you. Make sure that you put that ball outside of your stance when you get started. Step into it as your backswing is taking place. That's the sequencing that Kyle's talking about. And report your results back. And if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or other areas of your game that you'd like to see us addressed in a future video on the lesson tee, just put it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if we end up doing a lesson based on your question, we'll send you a little something as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Kyle, for the tips. Now I've got a lot of practicing to do.
All right.